Good evening, everyone. We're going to go ahead and call the meeting to order at this time. Please turn all cell phones, electronic devices to off or vibrate. Mr. Morris, would you please lead us in our prayer and our pledge this evening, sir?
Dear Lord, we thank you for this day and the blessings we receive from it. Lord, we would ask that any who might be traveling through these holidays, that you would be with them and get them to their destination and return them home safely. As we go about this business of Ballinger, help us to know what to do and how to do it, and give us the wisdom and the knowledge and understanding to go forward and do the things for the city of Ballinger that needs to be done that's good for all the citizens who live here. Lord, just be with us in a mighty way each and every day and lead us and guide us as you would have us to go. I pray this in your name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. All right, consider approval of the minutes of the December 3rd, 2018 meeting. We don't have time to review.
I have something. Let me find it again. Hold on. Right on already. I was on the amended travel expense voucher forms section. I think it was just a typo in the sentence there. The end of the sentence ended with time granted off when we were discussing travel, not time off.
Okay. Anything else? All right, motion to accept the minutes as presented with modification.
Make a motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor say aye. All right. Visitors who are not on the regular agenda will be given the opportunity to address the council on any subject at this time. Is anyone present not on the agenda that wishes to speak? And you are?
Jeff Smith.
Okay.
Buddy Sam.
However you feel.
Yeah, good. We're right on this. No, I'm on camera. Not used to being on camera, obviously, other than sitting down. So the question I have, I was looking for verification based off of Mr. Hancock's column. I was reading it, looking through there, just had a question about it. It was regarding Mr. Cheshire being the attorney for Ballinger, City of Ballinger, as well as Willow Park. Is that correct, by chance?
That's correct.
Do we not have any concern with what's going on with the review, that it is also tied in perhaps with Brian Grimes' time here, as well as his time at Willow Park? That there might be any kind of conflict between the two?
How so?
How so, as in you were attorney for us?
Hold on. There's no discussion open. This is only you get to address the council. We're not allowed to
I apologize.
speak to you.
Okay.
It's an open. If it's not on the agenda, that's not a communication discussion.
Okay. Well, then that was my question. Was if there was any kind of conflict there, any concern with the council that there would be a conflict with an ongoing investigation into any of the city finances? So
I don't have anything to do with the ongoing investigation of city finances, not at all. So I don't do finances. All I do is legal advice. I represent 7 other cities other than Ballinger. And I don't represent Brian Grimes. I represent the city of Willow Park. I don't represent anybody here individually. I represent the city of Ballinger.
okay.
And so neither one has anything to do with the other.
Okay.
No different than Brownwood or Looters or Rising Star or Coleman. They have nothing to do with each other. Unless you're dealing with economic development, competition between cities, where I don't get involved in that. If y'all have a prospect in Brownwood that's looking to come to Ballinger, I don't talk to them. I've never done that, so that's the only conflict potential I could have is representing cities, or if you sue each other.
Correct.
Then I'd have a conflict.
And that would be my secondary question, would be there's no contact regarding the case, regarding the investigation with crimes. No shared information that could possibly go back and forth, accidentally or otherwise.
He's never told me anything. Only thing he knows is what he's been reading in the paper.
Sure. Okay. Well, I mean, I guess that really answers my question.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Anyone else? All right. Discuss, consider, take action to pass a resolution authorizing the city to apply for a 2019 Municipal Solid Waste Grant with West Central Texas COG. You should have that in your packet. Is that what that is?
Yes. This is just the resolution. We do have a champion for our recycle center. Currently, we don't have a recycle program. We did at one time, but the company that we were getting our recyclable goods to went out of business. So we've been searching for another program to get involved with, other vendors who would take the product. And we kind of want to set the program up so it's sustainable, sustains itself. We don't want to have to spend a lot of money to get this going. We were able to piece together some equipment that we can utilize that we currently have. And this grant came up where we might be able to add to that equipment. Jack Watkins is kind of heading this program up for us, and he has some information that he can give to you guys to kind of help. This is what our program is going to look like.
Concerning the grant?
Yes. Well, this is more of our program that we're going to set up, not so much the grant.
I'll give you all a minute to take a look at that. The first group of sheets is just cost estimates on a pallet jack needed to move the bales from the baler and organize them inside the warehouse that we're going to be using. We already have the equipment to load the trailer when we get enough bales to seal it off.
So you're saying the only upfront cost right now would be a pallet jack?
There's no upfront cost from the city at all. The initial is going to be for the grant, which we're applying for with pallet jack. We're also going to be applying for either the purchase or the manufacture of cage trailers. That way we can place those trailers at locations. The people that are participating will fill that with cardboard, give us a call when it's ready. We'll pick it up, bring it down here and bale it, bring the empty trailer back to them.
When we started looking at the recycle program, for some reason, I guess there's, China used to take a lot of plastics and things. Well, they used to take everything. It's tapered off, and right now the only thing that we can sell that's marketable right now is cardboard. So Jack's gone around to all of the heavy users of waste cardboard or producers of waste cardboard, and has gotten some figures together, and we have a company that will come around and pick it up, and we already have a baler. We have a forklift that we can load it onto a trailer for them when they come. What we're after is the grant's going to be for approximately $34,000, and we can get all of it or a piece of it. It depends on who else has applied for the grant. And what we're going to do is take this money and buy the equipment that he's talking about.
So just the pallet jack?
Pallet jack and the trailers. Yeah, and they plan on putting these trailers at key locations where people can dump that cardboard off.
Now, at the back of the little folders I gave you, there's a source generation for this some of the people I've spoken to an estimated on how much cardboard that they throw away in the dumpsters.
So the first packet is just different prices.
Yes, different models.
Okay.
One of them is a pallet jack that comes with a scale on it. Another one is a pallet jack that has an extension lift on it so that we can stack things. You know, a few different variations to choose from.
And what we get kind of depends on how much we get from the grant.
So Pat, Jack, in order for this to be successful, you got to educate the public.
Yes, sir.
And
And
what was your plan for that?
my plan for that was to help the Chamber of Commerce grow their Keep Ballinger Beautiful program that works with the Keep Texas Beautiful. Right now, it's technically inactive, but I've spoken with the school, the superintendent and all three principals about setting up education through our CTRA, the COG, and the Keep Texas Beautiful to do education programs with the school. As those start going through, which they've all signed on for, they're more than happy for us to come up there and educate the kids. As we educate the kids, we start getting a foothold, getting traction, we can go ahead and start hosting events for the community to educate everybody else within the community. But for that to happen, we have to first gain traction and show that there's actually a program to be had.
So just cardboard, like
Okay.
any other kind of paper?
The reason we started with cardboard is because it's the easiest to collect and the easiest to store. When you're sending off cardboard to the paper mills, it doesn't have to be, it can get wet. It can be out in the sun. It doesn't matter, they'll take it. Now, once we gain traction, start getting some revenue generated, put it back into the program, then we can extend to actually afford to buy the bins necessary to collect copy grade paper, which this town generates a lot. But it has to be collected and stored in a way that it doesn't get wet and it's not exposed to the sun. So we can't feasibly start off with that. As we generate that, we get in to the copy grade. For a little further down the road, after that generates revenue, then we can start looking at mixed paper, which has almost no value. Problem is, mixed paper has a lot of tonnage. All your articles, your newspapers, magazines, everything like that goes into the mixed paper. And there's a lot of that. You can't go through an office anywhere in this town without seeing 40 magazines on the table.
I think people are keeping their newspapers lately.
Yeah. Yeah.
Winter time, fire starter.
Yeah.
Don't you,
So just
Jeff?
like corrugated brown card, you know, that type
Any
of.
grade of paper, or cardboard.
Right.
All of it they'll take. And we're starting off with that.
And these trailers will be,
About 20-foot little cotton trailers.
okay,
And then we
so,
build a cage onto them, and then that way they can load them from the back. Once they get full, we go and pick them up, back them over there, empty them out, put them in a baler, and take it back.
so can an individual go and put stuff in there?
Yes.
How do we get it in there?
Okay, well, we're gonna be making sure that the back area is open enough that you can get into the trailer.
So how much trouble do you think you're gonna have with people putting other items in those trailers?
That is,
We're gonna have trouble.
well, we're gonna have trouble at certain locations. When I spoke to Muller's, they have no problem going ahead and educating their workers to separate out the cardboard and place it, and that's a spot that we're gonna put it. Stripes, both Allsups, I've already spoken to the managers, they have no problem instead of putting it in the dumpster to separate out their cardboard and place it in those. Ballinger ISD, not only are there lunchroom staff that's gonna separate it out, they're also talking about when we start with the education events to get the students to bring in their cardboard to school, have those events hosted, and that cardboard will go into the trailers. So the only place we're looking at having problems is, I have not been able to speak to every small business on Hutchings and 8th and 9th, but we're gonna have to strategically place trailers down here in the business district. That's where we're probably gonna run into other people just walking by and throwing stuff in the cage trailers.
That's where I was going with that. You have other trailers strategically around the city. Somebody's gonna go in there at night and put a bunch of stuff in there.
Yes, sir.
They don't want the house, so how much problem, that's what I was wondering, how much problem you think there's gonna be with that?
The fact that we haven't calculated in the cardboard for all the small businesses the restaurants and the fast food places, if that does get contaminated with other trash, cardboard doesn't matter if it's contaminated. So when we bring it down there, separate out the trash and then bale cardboard. Now, it would be nice if the city would go ahead and, once before the program gets started, let people know if we catch you doing that, you're going to get in trouble. Because if you can go ahead and put a stop to it before it really gets started, you're ahead of the game.
Right, I agree.
And Walmart they take their boxes back to somewhere, don't they?
Right, they sell their,
Walmart bails theirs. There's a regional truck that comes through and it picks up Walmart, Tractor Supply, and I think there's one other stop in town.
probably IGA.
I believe so. Dollar General, they take all their cardboard, they break it down, they put it on the truck back to their distributing warehouse. Now, I went out and talked to Putty's, and they've already been hauling theirs off. So
Where do they take it?
they're sending theirs up to Springfield, Illinois.
Wouldn't it be easier to?
Well, it would be, except for the way this program's working, these businesses are donating their cardboard. Whereas for Buddy's, they have a mass production of
They're
cardboard,
selling it.
so they need to sell theirs so that they can bring some of that revenue back and drop their production costs. But long-term goal is to get this working in steps. One step will lead to the next, and then hopefully in 3 to 5 years, we'll be able to take care of everybody's aluminum, their tin, their plastics, all of those things to make the program pay for itself to get these harder to move items so that we can recycle. My goal at this point working is to look for a 40% reduction in waste from the town in 3 to 5 years.
So that means 40% of the waste that's currently going to a landfill would be recycled.
Instead of charging us $45 a ton.
Right. So it's a cost reduction.
Plus generating revenue.
Projected cost.
The projected cost that we're looking at for our first year, I'm looking lower end of the spectrum at 300 tons of diversion, which will save us $13,500 in what we're sending to the landfill. For the year, generating the revenue, we're looking at $27,000 actual revenue coming in that we did not have. And that's just off cardboard alone.
Say that number again. I'm sorry. What was wrong?
The revenue?
Yeah.
$27,000.
Second year.
Oh, that's for the first year projections.
Oh, okay.
Yes, the savings is $13,500. That's how much we're not paying out and we're diverting from the landfill.
Sounds like a win-win.
And these projections will continue to increase year by year as we add in the copy paper and start getting aluminum, because I would like to expand this, not just from the commercial and industrial side, but to get the residents involved too. And 41% of all trash is paper. So that will help us reach our goal of hitting our total 40% waste reduction in 3 to 5 years.
I guess my question still goes to what is the projected cost to get this program started?
Projection
Our savings.
is $10,000 that we're looking at for a grant. And that's for the pallet jack and the cage trailers to either be bought or manufactured.
Okay.
So we're
that's
looking at the grant paying for that.
exactly. So there's no actual cost coming from us except for manpower. And the city is matching that in equipment, because we are allocating the SkyTrack or the skid steer for when the truck comes in to load that. See, when you're applying for these grants, if the city does match it, it helps, on their scoring. But it doesn't have to be a monetary donation. It could be the use of equipment, the man hours for the workers to bale it and everything. All those costs can be put in there as city matching what we get, which will help us get a better score, which will help us.
Okay.
So we don't have to
The
come
grant.
out 10,000.
Exactly.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
think we're behind the times, we need to get it done.
Yeah.
We have any other questions? I went ahead and put my card in each one of those. It's got my email on there. If y'all have any questions that y'all didn't have this evening, and you had a chance to think about it, feel free to send me an email, and I'll do what I need to get it answered for you.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
All right, motion to take action to pass a resolution authorizing the city to apply for 2019 municipal solid waste grant with West Texas Central Texas COG.
Second.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. All right, consider approval of building permits. Just the one?
Old Ballinger nursing home, 1800 Broadway, wants to put in a 10 by 12 foot storage building.
No issues, Steve?
Motion to accept the building permit as presented.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
It's even on their property too, right? Why do they ask? Huh? That's- All right. Here's the city administrator's bi-weekly report.
Let's see, we got the update on city finances and spending. We brought in an auditor last week to come in, go through our books, start crunching numbers. And he's got two goals really. One is to look at our finances, where we're at, what's been spent, where it's gone, and give us an update. Then the second goal is to look at our processes and see if things need to be changed or moved around. That way we don't have problems in the future, right? So that's just, we're kind of right in the middle of this. He came in Wednesday, Thursday, well, he didn't come in Friday, but he got all our reports. He looked at how we did our thing. He's right in the middle of a diagnostic of how we do our business. I akin to, like, if you're going to buy a car, you take it out and run it around, stop it real fast, make sure all the, if something's making noise and shouldn't, so that's what we're kind of right in the middle of doing right now. So we'll have a complete update at the next city council meeting. We'll have where everything's at, if things need to be changed, what we're going to change, when we're going to change it, and new standard operating procedures if we need them, and checkpoints where we can continue to monitor these changes. So that's where we're at on the city finances at the minute, at the moment. Let's see. We had a question about the community center parking lot. There's an individual who lives right across from the community center, and they're always parking in his driveway or right next to it, or they're impeding his egress and
Yeah.
Making him mad.
well, yeah, I know. I mean, some of it is. I mean, it's been like that for I don't know how long, but we're looking at marking that off and then repainting some of that area so people will notice that it's no parking
Maybe
area.
we could put a big no parking kind of.
Right.
With little yellow and red reflector things on the road.
Right.
Yeah.
Mark it off for the guy, make his life a little easier over there.
Yeah, and
There'll
also.
still be people that park where they want.
Oh, well, sure. I mean, it's
Maybe the violators will be towed.
that's actually a good idea. Yeah.
We can totally-
And then he can call if they park there.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Well, first, last few years, 2 or 3 years, I guess, we've been supplying guys up there for events at the park.
Right.
And that worked pretty good for a while. I think the last, event they had there, someone didn't call them, didn't set up, you know, and of course everybody goes right back parking in the street.
Right, yeah.
And so there's no one there, you know, they'll park wherever they
Well, sure.
can.
But
Sure.
there may be a time where they must, the police department may get a call, and a couple of citations may put stop to some of that.
It would, probably.
Even like
Or-
family reunions and get-togethers that happen up there, there's not always somebody that help direct people.
Well, I think the lines are actually faded right now, so they're not really bright as far as I can see.
Yeah. It's hard to.
Oh, they are,
Really?
Yeah, they're really faded.
they were probably put there when you were back in high school.
All they were.
Actually, we find those lines over behind you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's been 3 or 4 years.
Well, and, which raises another point, over the Christmas break up at the school holiday, we're gonna look at repainting the crosswalk area if it's, warm enough. Because that paint that we got for that is, I think it has to be above 50 degrees before we can use it. So we're gonna do that about the same time, so.
Got one question, Tom.
Yes, sir.
Are y'all gonna go with white now?
I think it was yellow.
It's supposed to be
For
white
crosswalks.
crosswalks.
White? Okay. I'll check and see. I'll make a note of that.
Yeah, I don't know how much of that paint they got left, even.
One bucket that I know of.
But, we'll get the right color this time. And, I know that was a note somewhere in my notes that we needed to check the color. Let's see. Oh, we got our bids in for the engineering grant. If you remember, the grant for the roads that we were applying for, part of it is that we're required to have an engineer to help set up the process of the streets and, you know, picking out which streets need to be done, you know, first, and then quality control. They got to get a plan together. It's got to be stamped by an engineer. So those bids came in, and we'll get a committee together to look at those, review them, and then I'm planning in the next city council meeting to go ahead and pick that engineer. So we'll do that. I think it's the 7th of December. And January. Yeah, I'm sorry. January. My mom's still at the hospital. We're also doing the same thing with a collection agent. We'll be reviewing those bids as well. We had someone that called in, and we went ahead and extended that bid for them. They didn't see it in time to get the bid in, which was fine because I think we had 3. This will be 4 now, which will be good. So we'll review that, and we should have a decision the next city council meeting, January 7th. We are also, because we're reviewing and updating the city ordinance, the charter, we went ahead and started reviewing the personnel manual, or, you know, the employee manual. And so we got a committee together to start updating that as well. As we make changes to that, we'll update the council, and we'll get to vote on it and then put that in place. And I was gonna just remind Christie that I guess we need names and everything the next city council meeting. And
Progress, good progress.
Yes, there's progress. We don't have the list completely
That's
nailed
fine.
down concrete, but
Good.
yes.
Positive, that's good.
Will the council have some input on the personnel handbook revisions?
Oh, I'm sure we will.
Yeah.
Okay.
well, you get to review it before you vote it in.
Okay.
We can't just arbitrarily make changes. What we'll do is, we'll,
I don't have anything specific.
No,
at this
I
moment,
understand.
But I just,
You wanted to know if
if I
you had
did think of something.
well, see, what we'll do is look at what's current policy, and then we're gonna take, for instance, the city of Brownwood, because they've recently updated theirs, and compare it, and maybe another city, you know, and run it through Pat for, you know, to check it off. And then, so if there's anything old that needs to be updated, we can do that. If there's anything that just needs to be changed, we can move forward with changes. But what we do is once we get our changes that in the committee that we think need to be made, we submit it to the council. You get to review it and then vote on it or provide your input at that point.
Yeah.
So, and that was all I had for right now.
How would you look at the speed bumps on that 1 mile road? Those gigantic speed bumps?
Yes, sir.
Those were put in when Bobby Tom Bailey was on council.
Okay.
And there was kind of a minor uproar about it, so our city administrator then said, I'll show you. And anyway, they were rather gigantic and you drag.
Smaller now.
Well,
So they're smaller now.
And the signs are right for the speed bumps.
Yeah.
well, would anybody have any objection if we took those out?
I doubt if there's any.
We might find out after the fact, not before the fact.
Ask the residents that live there what they
Yeah.
think. And
Yeah.
Well, I know what a few of them think
Yeah.
already. And,
I can see speeding being a problem on that road.
well,
I can see right
Pretty good
there.
straight run right there.
well,
But could you at least reduce the size of them
yes, we will take a look at that.
and put the warning signs a little further out?
Yeah, that is a problem that we're looking at. And, so,
Yeah, there's been a lot of comment about it.
yeah. Well, I don't think speed's a problem now because the potholes are horrendous right now.
That's what I was about to say.
So,
If you won't get a pothole about the same thing.
yeah.
And Tommy, speaking of that, is it a liability issue? I had a couple of elderly guys in church that they'd love to go down there and get some asphalt and put them in the hose by our church and other selected places. Is there a liability issue on that?
Getting the asphalt or them doing it
Yeah,
themselves?
both. Getting it and putting it in the hose, or is there some advanced degree you have to have for pothole repair? I don't know.
There's probably a certificate out there somewhere you can get it, Bob, but, we don't have any objection. And
Because y'all are overwhelmed, I know that.
right. I mean, as far as the person doing it themselves, that would be a,
Well, what you can do is you can get listed under insurance for workers' comp programs. That's volunteer. You can get them covered, get your names, give them TML, and they'll cover them for workers' comp purposes, or if they get hurt or hurt somebody, we would cover it under
okay.
their actions.
Well, then that's for roads. Now, if you're doing it for private parking lots,
No, this is streets.
okay,
And one of them's Dwayne Schaefer, and he has, farm hands that he would utilize. But
right.
what about your community service workers that we signed on to not long ago?
Right now, they're mainly park personnel. I don't want to put them at hard labor.
Just asking.
Yeah. Picking up
Anyway,
trash,
Some of these guys volunteer and they want to be known as the pothole patrol. And,
well, it sounds like we can get them.
no, they want to go with the initials PP since they both have, enlarged prostate.
There you go.
Just want to throw that out.
I understand. No, we can do that. And,
But call them PP instead.
I will. I'll make a note of that even. Yeah.
How about P2?
But you can, if
Or you can.
you can send those people down to me, we can get them signed up.
Okay, with the phone catheter.
Yes.
Okay.
But we don't want to
And you know
encourage
that, Ted.
anybody to go put anything they want in the potholes and,
Right. Yeah, some general guy.
because that can create some problems for when we do actually go patch them.
Right.
Make sure it's-
Right.
it
If,
goes through the right
if they get motivated to come down, we can fix them up.
So then, in that process, are they gonna be going to get the asphalt where we have it stored? To put it in the potholes?
Well, I suppose they could.
Well, that's what I'm wondering about, because we may have a line of cars from here to there. And all of a sudden, you don't have any more asphalt.
Yeah, no, I understand. I understand. No, I mean, you know, if we had individuals that we signed up for the volunteer action, we would know that they would be there. Yeah, the only authorized person in there.
Well, no, I'm not objecting to it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I'm just wondering if a few go do it, and all of a sudden, so where did you get it? And then all of a sudden, we've got a problem.
Right, right.
I mean, we can monitor it, and see how it goes.
Well, sure.
I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah. Now, we can look at it, send them down, and we can get them signed up and see what happens.
Let's send them down.
Okay, good deal.
What else?
I don't have anything else.
You got stuff up there?
Oh, there we go. These are our numbers. Okay, we had work orders, previous period 52, this period 117. What that is we had a few really wet weeks. Say that 3 times fast. Okay.
Sound like more fun?
Yeah, and then we had about 2 weeks of dry period that we were able to actually do a lot of work. So our work orders went way up, and so we had street department, water department, property maintenance.
Wrong.
Do what?
The numbers are wrong.
Okay. Well, check your work orders.
I've got copies.
Okay, and what's the next one? Man hours worked. We went up, looks like 900 man hours from the previous period. So, which is good. Which incidentally, those are all safe working hours. Overtime worked. There you go, safe man hours. I think, let's see, October we were at 44, November 12,000.
I don't think we start until halfway through October.
Okay, all right, that may be, okay. So we started working, when we started recording in October, if we were half, it'd be about 8,000. So yeah, okay, that'd be right. So 12,000 safe working hours up to 30 November. We have 1,868 meters, active meters this period. So we're up 10 meters. Total gallons billed, 10 million. And we're down 28%. Total dollars billed out, we're down 10%. And then total unpaid from this period is 43,000. What's the next one?
That's it.
That's it? All right. That's all we had. Yeah, well, we're, yeah, well, holiday, right now we're running into the, we got a lot of bills paid in the last week because we're coming up to a turnoff.
Right.
So a lot of those numbers that are coming in this week weren't recorded for the meeting. That's all I had. Any questions?
All right. Thank you, sir. Here, request for future agenda items from City Council. Anything else you need to get on the agenda, just please get it on.
You already have the charter committee next week.
Anything else? Besides the first meeting?
Nothing yet.
You go ahead.
I'll do my best thinking outside. I'll let y'all know.
Go outside. All right, motion to adjourn, please.
Make a motion.
Second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Thank y'all very much.